Hey guys, Ryches here, and now that the United team is fully built, it's time to start training the players up and getting the ranks up. We had a 95 rated team and was it 114 chemistry? It's quite low really, so we need to train them up to get them to a good level of, kind of to use in the actual game. So it's going to be a lot of training. There's going to be a lot of training during this entire build up until I can get Lindelof and stuff like that, the 92, and I get more money, more coins rather. I'll end up by properly kind of training some of these players up. So yeah, just to get them all to at least 80 rated to unlock chemistry, because now we've got the max boost, we've got 172, there's still even more chemistry to try and get. It's important to try and get as far as possible with getting everyone at least 80 rated, because then you get better chemistry. And firstly, I was like, right, I'll train up the defenders first, and then who do I want to train? I want to train up Van der Beek, because I feel like, as a United fan, he's treated kind of so disrespectfully for someone who scored in a semi-final of Champions League for Ajax. We don't really play him, and I don't know if it's not a personnel issue, I think it's more of a club issue. I was like, right, let's get to Xavi some really good boosts as well. I feel like he can be a really good defender, and he's really fast as well. Get into, I think, I was debating on how far to kind of go with them, and I thought, do you know what, I may as well just kind of go the full way with some of them and just try and push it. So I went to 84 for Xavi. I feel like, in general, pushing to make this team better this way is just going to be a lot of fun. Having Bailly as a really good defender, and then obviously trying to get some of the skill boosts as well, because some of the skill boosts need to be applied. You don't realise, because I use the same team over and over, because most of them are at level 10 now for the boosts, that we still have loads more to train because you're not using them. So once I set this team to active, I then have to kind of push and try and make sure that they're at high levels, get them plus 10 and stuff like that, because there's a load of them and you don't realise how many you actually need to do. So yeah, make sure Cavani is ready and firing. I think he's always I think he's a really good player. It's a good signing as well for United. Pogba is just unfairly criticised in the media all the time, and I feel that this team's going to be a lot of fun once we start to not just playing with this team now, but also when we start getting the better players. So when we get the Cavani, when we get the Matic that's 92 rated, when we get the Lindelof, when we get the Luke Shaw, it's going to be a really good team. So I felt like, right, okay, let's give this a try out. I'll try a versus attack, and I'll try a head-to-head, which is probably the last word to you in a versus attack, because having a 98 rated and 172 chemistry when you're going into FIFA Champion is going to be a catastrophe, because all you need is someone to be 100 rated and you're going to lose. There's no way about it, really. You're always going to find that teams in general are just better than yours. His is 104 rated with 174 chemistry. You're going to come across that. There's no way to avoid it, unfortunately. And it makes sense. I feel like this game mode is a nice little game mode to have and to kind of grind with, because it's 1 minute 30. So you can always spare some time to get a couple of those games in and try and win a couple of those games. Whereas head-to-head, with FIFA in general, it's quite time consuming, and it's all dependent on how kind of fast you can push yourself to get the game done with. Because when the ball's out of play and all that sort of stuff, the time stops and stuff like that. Whereas for first attack, it just keeps going down, down, down. But the trade-off is, no matter how good my team is, I'm gonna end up fluffing those chances and stuff like that, because you're gonna get really not really too easy chances where they're gonna get great, and then the same opposite way around sometimes. But with this team, I thought, let's try it first. But I realised as soon as I saw this guy's team that to try and properly show off his team, it's probably best I try and do versus attack. Because if I don't, then I'm just going to keep losing, and that's not a fun viewing. We actually kind of got this back a little bit. It seemed like we were fighting back, and we were finishing off some of our good chances and stuff like that. And got it to 8-8, but the simple fact of the matter is that once you get to a certain point, you're going to start getting those fair chances that take you ages, and you end up fluffing them. So therefore, unfortunately, no matter how fast or how good you build it up, you're going to fail it in the end anyways. Also, it was really good save. Was it a block that I think? It was a really good block. So yeah, this team so far, I'm quite enjoying it. I think this is a great idea for me personally going forward in terms of content, because when I'm doing promotions and stuff like that, I can focus on, hey look, this is the main team that's going to be using with like the Ronaldo, the Messi and the Dybala. But having this team is like something that I can work as a project to kind of, hey look, I'm going to try and work up these players from like 71 rated until whatever, or I can replace this with a better player. This promotion's for like the 98 Martial. I'm obviously going to try and get him in the team. I'll probably get rid of the Rashford to get Martial in there. And therefore, you can really push. So I was like, right, okay, I'm going to, let's do a head-to-head. This guy's team is better than mine, but with head-to-head, there's a lot more chances for you to kind of beat a team, because it's not fully down to, obviously if you're 72 rated team, you'll come across a 107 rated team, and obviously you're going to lose. But when it's 4 or 5 ratings different, it's not as important as it is in versus attack, because versus attack it works towards how many better chances you're getting. This one's just about more chances, how many more chances you can create. So I thought this is going to be a better way to show off this team, because I think showing off this idea is probably something that is going to entertain me the most. So yeah, this game was kind of one of those games where I felt like this team's going to be something fun, because we were quite fast. Also, it was quite easy to kind of. I'm getting a lot better at this game as well. I think I'm starting to, as I'm playing it more and more, I'm starting to get used to the controls, the best ways. But it's the same with like FIFA. I always felt like I was a competent FIFA player, not like an amazing one, but I always felt like I was okay. I generally get like gold 2, gold 1 in Ultimate Team Weekend League, but yeah, playing this game more, I'm getting used to the best ways to control, the best ways to use this and that. And this team in general is very, very good to use, because I felt like the position of some of them was really, especially like Van der Beek and stuff like that, quite clearly the boost, because I always, when I've played this game in the past, I never thought like the boosts really did too much, because you end up coming across really good teams that have those promotion players that are really, really good. But having Van der Beek and boosting him up to like having like 80 in every start, I didn't realise how good it would actually be. But it really worked well. The thing is, by the way, I think the crossing's been nerfed recently, because I've noticed people don't score as many. The people who are really on this game to still is basically one cross goal, one cross goal, one cross goal. But I think they must have nerfed it at some point, because I'm not facing as many crosses. I'm facing a lot more of people attempting to, but A, it's not going off as well, and then it's also being followed by a miss anyways. I'm noticing defenders are getting a lot better at them, and I feel like, I don't know, it's the same with any FIFA really, isn't it, where when we have some sort of meta or some sort of idea, like I remember the kickoff glitch when it used to be like the most prominent and things like that. If there's an advantage in the game, people will obviously use it. I was the same, especially with like the crossing. Use crosses to the back. I used to use Messi, crosses to Ronaldo, goal, repeat. Good goal led by Paul Pogba, by the way, which on his left foot as well. But yeah, when you've got any sort of advantage like that, you're naturally going to use it. And I feel like nerfing it's been an interesting sort of way to see how people play this game, because now that I don't cross as much, I'm back to playing. I try and play at football where I'm trying to pass it in here, or trying to sweat it as well. That's still a common occurrence. But yeah, this team, we could have scored a couple really. The problem was a really good finish, and overall we're looking like we've got a team that is going to be fun to build on. The thing is, by the way, I don't know what it is, right? But when you're doing a head-to-head, I don't know why, but free kicks, I scored them 9 times out of 10 in any sort of game mode in this game, except for when it's head-to-head. I end up absolutely fluffing those chances, and I don't get why I do. This guy's team, by the way, was really, really good. I like to see the different sort of variations that people do. I hate an ultimate team when you consistently have to play the same sort of team over and over and over and over. It's a lot more fun when everyone's doing something different, and this game offers a lot more different. To say that crossing had been nerfed, but naturally scored a cross. So yeah, I feel like come across these sort of teams, with the exception of maybe Calvert-Lewin, because obviously we used him quite a bit at the start as well, and a lot of teams are still using him to this point. But overall, I often find that we're coming across teams that are very vastly different, with the exception of a couple of players. Whereas in Ultimate Team, I felt like I played the same team, especially as I got further on into Weekend League. I felt like I was playing the same team over and over. I was a great head at that as well. Again, I've just spent like 2 minutes talking about Crossing being there, and the 2-headed goals. Quite typical, really, in it. But I feel like things have kind of been a lot more fun for me in this game recently, because I'm finding a lot more of a rhythm because I'm used to it by this point. And just seeing different teams, it doesn't demotivate you as much. It doesn't make you just go, oh, I've got to play that player again, this again. With the exception of the Calvert-Lewin, but again, it's not as effective. I feel like it was. A cross would just be every 6 seconds, whereas now it's not as much. But we're doing a head-to-head. We got the win. We got our first win with this team against a team that was actually quite good as well, with a higher level. And I feel that this is going to be the way I do these now. When I'm showing off this team or the improvements, I'm definitely going to focus on doing head-to-head, not on versus attack. But yeah, this team has been a lot of fun to kind of start building, and can't wait to work on it a bit more. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Take care.